So now back to Nyash in terms of now you've got 2.5 songs.
Yeah.
Gigs are still coming.
Gigs are coming. So we sit down and we say we have to quickly figure out how do we drop a few more songs quickly to ensure that we have a good set on stage. But also at the same time, how do we enforce what he said in Now You Know about napenda kurap na pia napenda kusing. Then, okay, at least this one I can proudly say I came up with. I told Nyash, let's do a double. One where you sing and another one you rap. And we drop both together.
Yeah.
And then now, here's the beauty about Nyash. When you say that and he's sold, your work stops there until now he does the song. You have no input in the song. But he'll still draw you into. So, someday Nyash calls me and tells me, kuna song. So kumbe he has also called Talia, though I think Talia had had it before, and he also called Nameless. So we went to some studio. This song he did with Sedo, he did at some studio, and this was now when I was meeting Sedo. So he had done the song at a studio. There was a studio, I don't know if it's still there. There was a studio at Ngong Hills Hotel. So we went there to listen to the song. Nyash played that song. People removed tears.
The one where he's singing?
People chucked tears. Hey, tears zilitoka. Yani, he played that song and then again he goes into kuna nini hapa nataka kuongeza. Guys are like hii song imeisha. Sedo, maliza hii song ime. And then that was the time when, so now you're double, you're jazzed by the song, what Nyash is doing. Then you've met this producer who that track he has made, that melody he has made. So that's for me when I was meeting Sedo. So see, now we have one song. So next song, so me I'm like, this next song needs to be aka hard hip hop nini. So again, niaje kuna song. This time it's a studio. It's RK's former studio on where is that place?
Marcus Garvey.
Is it Marcus Garvey?
Yeah, where Nameless used to live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still lives there. So we go to the studio at night. We listen to this song. He played the song. Yani, you're like, we are back to not even tuendele. We are back to mi badoniko.
Yes.
You know, not tuendele, mi badoniko. So when I heard that song, I knew, bas.
So you, as a manager, you're not involved in connecting studios?
No. Those ones he was doing himself. Because you see, it's actually at that point, it was connecting with producers. So he has to connect with the producer who he feels a vibe. So I think Sauti Sol introduced him to Sedo. Because remember, Sedo used to be the
keyboardists
with Sauti Sol.
Yeah.
So I think he introduced them, and they developed a vibe. Then Sedo would find the studio to work in. So for me, it was more of the paperwork. When is it done? Video, nini.
Split sheets.
Yeah, split sheets and all those things.
Yeah.
So we
you hear the second song.
I hear the second song, and at this point, even I got excited, and I hope I'll look for. There's a video we have of us trying to play around with the chorus. The chorus of this song was not meant to be. We had a version that had a different chorus, and we'll play it. Here it is.
Yes.
So this chorus, we got excited in the studio where Nyash had given a version. Nyash had given what is the chorus now. Then we were trying to experiment with this other version where we now got in DJ Space to come and do some things that would have been the chorus. I can't remember what the reason was why we didn't go with that one. I can't remember what the reason was. But anyway, from there, we got into, let's shoot the videos, because now these ones have to come out with videos.
Yep.
So we went on a trip to Arusha.
Gig.
No, trip. We went to shoot the video, one of the videos in Arusha.
Oh.
Yes. So we went with Sedo, with Big Pin, with Roba, and Nyash, of course, and VJ1. So we went to shoot the part of the video for the R&B song in Arusha. Then we came and finished it in Nairobi, and then I introduced
Tony Maura.
I introduced Nyash to Tony Maura, and then we shot the other video. So, wait, am I confusing? You know the two songs I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Mungu Peke and?
No, not Mungu Peke.
Sorry. Malaika and?
And and I forgot the name of the song.
Aminia.
Yes, Aminia. Yeah.
So we shot the video for Aminia with Tony Maura.
First of all, I don't think people understand how much of a groupie Tony has been for Nyash. Not Tony has shot like 4 of my videos, or couple, or cannot by even like I've known Tony for a very long time. In fact, Tony was my best man. But Tony, from way back, from that time, I think Tony was 14. He was obsessed with Nyash. So I know shooting this one, he wanted to make his statement.
Kabisa. So, so now it was time to drop Malaika and Aminia, and we had said we are dropping as a double. So we prepared everything, press release, artworks, formats, nini, kila kitu. Loaded the videos ready to hit, go. So, Nyash, and this was such a brilliant move, Nyash calls Maina Kageni and tells Maina Kageni, I'd like to play a song for you. Now this part I wasn't involved. This Nyash now told me later. So he calls Maina Kageni, tells Maina Kageni, I have something for you. So he goes and meets Maina Kageni, plays for him the song. Maina Kageni goes bananas. He tells Nyash, this song, by the way, I'm the one premiering it. So it even becomes, I think the plan had been to release it on the song on a Wednesday, the 2 songs on a Wednesday. There's a reason we were going for Wednesday. Oh, those days, Nyash had a thing about the song has to either be released on a 7th or a 14th. No, a 7th or a whatever the date has to have a factor of 7. So it's either 7th or
21st, 14th.
No. It was either 7th or what am I forgetting? The numbers have to add to a 7.
Numbers.
No, wait.
16th.
Yes, 7th, 16th, or 25th. Those were the release dates for Nyash at that point. 7th, 16th, or 25th. The numbers have to add to 7.
Why? That's for his CTA.
That's for his CTA. That's for his CTA.
Nyash is the most requested human being on CTA. Actually, Lucas, then Nyash.
So we were going to release on that Wednesday, but then Maina Kageni had said, I'll start teasing it on Monday. And here's the clip of how Maina Kageni teased it on that Monday, because he went wild.
Time for this guy to make his debut. This guy came back to Kenya and absolutely blew us away with Now You Know. Then we were still reeling from that. He chucked Mungu Peke and we were all like, oh my God, now what the hell? What is he gonna do that can top Mungu Peke? So a couple of weeks ago, I was somewhere enjoying myself, and Nyashinski comes over and tells me, he was in the company of Big Pin, and says, let's go to the inside the lounge there with some earphones, and I want you to listen to something. And he played this jam for me, and I almost fell down where I was. Because just when you thought, this man can never do a love song, surely, not Nyashinski, well, he's done one. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be one of the biggest songs of 2017. It's called Malaika. It's an exclusive to Classic 105. You're hearing it first, right here on Maina and Kingangi in the morning. Listen to this man sing. Nyashinski, 10 out of 10. My God, I died. My God. My God. What? What? Brand new from Nyashinski. Malaika. It's playing on Classic 105. No way. Kiauskiza yo. Can I go home? Please, Arsene Gidroff, you say no more Nkwata. At Real Shinsky, Malaika takes position number 1. I don't know how you do it, Nyashinski, but I'll tell you what, and I'll tell you this while you're still here. You are no doubt one of the most talented artists Kenya has ever produced. You came up with Now You Know. How would anyone top that up? You came up with Mungu Peke. How do you even top up Mungu Peke? Then you come up with this. This morning, my brother, I bow down. Malaika.
When you were in the studio?
No, the way he released it was all recorded as an audio on YouTube, and it was released. And because he did that, and we hadn't released it officially, a lot of people then listened to it through that link, because it was a video. The video was posted by Classic 105. Maina Kageni was so excited by this song, the way he premiered it, like no one could have done it better. You know, so it gave us pressure. So we couldn't wait for Wednesday to release now the two of them together. So that Wednesday we dropped the two of them, Malaika, Aminia. Now for us, what it did was, see, there were 2 songs initially. Remove this half kwanza. See, there were 2 songs. We had just doubled our catalog. So whatever time you say we have on stage, now we can do double.
And that minus the old catalog.
Minus the old catalog.
Okay, let's first talk about. I want to start with Aminia, because me, that was the one that I thought was insane. As a rap head, you get what I mean? And that guy came correct to the way exactly that you said it. Mimi Bado Nico, you get what I mean? That's where I'm at. You get? With Nyash, that's like for me one of the best Kenyan hip hop songs. Definitely top 3. And then he follows it up with this. But then also, Malaika just left the building. Like
Malaika was, and you know, on the back of Mungu Peke, that was beast after beast.
Yeah.
On the back of Mungu Peke. And then remember, after some time, I don't know if it was after or before, but then they started being discussed in the same length, in the same conversations. Sauti Sol released Kuliko Jana. And then remember, there was a time that then there was an argument about Kuliko Jana and Mungu Peke
need to be a groove.
And it was a big discussion. But let me tell you, there was a lot of discussion about do these people, are they gospel artists? Do they fit in here? Then there was an argument about, it's about the message. Then there was the whole conversation of there there was a word that they were using to say that actually you cannot say Mungu anakupenda leo kuliko jana because God loves you the same every day. It became a big it became a big argument. It became a big argument. But at that time the artists were more of, if people have gotten to talking about it to that level, then it's about the message.
And also you're being nice. Fakii, you're a nice guy. You're not saying the other side. On the other side, gospel in a rubbish. So you get what I mean. So the guys are saying, I'm a gospel artist. I was, but so I can understand it. So at the same time, there's that whole noise of what rubbish is gospel doing. Secular artists are making better gospel music than gospel musicians. You get? And I'm not saying that to tarnish names. It's just the conversation that was going down.
It's true. It was the conversation there. But of course, for us, we couldn't get into it. It was, you hear it, but you don't comment because, you know. So, there was that whole...
Okay, you can't even just say now as a manager. Now I want to enter your managerial roles. You have 4 beasts. This guy, hands down, has come down and has taken the #1 spot as a solo artist. The only probably people close to him is Kali and maybe, I mean, no, not maybe.
I don't think even at that time Kali was there,
but definitely Sauti Sol.
Sauti Sol, but it was a beautiful relationship because they were friends. And then at that point, the gigs were many. So there are quite a number of gigs they used to do together. The gigs were many. Let's say the cake was big enough.
Now as a manager, what happened? Have you discussed managerial roles now?
No, by this time, yes, we've discussed. By this time, we've already agreed on splits because remember already, there are gigs we've done. So there was money to split already. But then at that point...
And you're still at Coke?
Yes, at that point, I'm still at Coke. So at that point, the discussion is more about...
So you're making some more money.
At that point, the discussion is more about... how do we build this brand? How do we build on this brand? How do we move forward the songs after that? How do we make sure we do...
How do you build on a brand like that?
First, again, it goes back to feedback. A lot of feedback. So when you release a song, there's an audience, there's an audience you'll satisfy. There's a new audience you'll draw in, but there's an audience that will feel left out. So at least when we did the double, some people were happy with Malaika, some people were happy with Aminia, and some people who were happy with Aminia appreciated Malaika, and people who are happy with Malaika also appreciated Aminia. So now you're showing the range that the artist can play in. And you've satisfied 2 audiences at the same time, but you're also trying to show them that, guys, we can coexist. You know. So now building on that is, of course, you look at streaming numbers, you look at YouTube numbers, and you can see which ones then get more reactions, more numbers. So you steer that way, but once in a while you have to come back to satisfy the hip hop heads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to come back to satisfy them. But the R&B audience is more lucrative because they react faster, their numbers are more, it's what is being asked for at concerts. Even when you go for a concert, like, you can test and see the reaction, where you can go for a gig where you're not performing and then you watch. So you go for a gig and you purposely tell a DJ, I want to be here when you play this song and when you play this song, because I want to see the reaction. Because at that point, you're also trying to figure out which song is the best to finish with. And for a very long time, even after release of so many songs, up until just before the Lucky You album, Mungu Peke was the closing song. Imagine after releasing other songs, Mungu Peke was always the closing song.
Let me ask you, so I don't know Nyash personally, I've never sat down and had a conversation with him, but from being a musician, I can tell that he's on level steroids when it comes to musician. So how do you balance as between popular? Because I like what Amani said. Align, if you want to be a huge musician, there's what the masses want. Don't try and change the masses. Give the masses what they want.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But then also, from my own, I've never met him again, and I'll say just from my own thoughts about Nash, he's like a super creative. So he can't just do what the masses want. He can't just do popular.
Yeah. So you have to balance, and when you've reeled in the audience, then you can do small experiments with trying to steer them to the direction that you want. But it's a very tricky thing to do, even internationally. I still go back to the example of Jay-Z. Jay-Z came in a bit hard, then he had to go commercial, and he had to go commercial for a long time, up until this point where whatever he says, we almost still go with, because now he's reached that status where we are almost a cult. We're almost like a cult-like following. So it will take a long time.
Is Nyash, is Sauti Sol there? Who do you think is at that level?
Diamond might be there. Diamond might be there.
Whatever he does, tutamfuata tu.
Kuna audience.
Remember, there's a guy who once said, President Moi weni kondo. Then the crowd was just like, we're going to, oh, na sisi tunwa kufuata.
So I know my opinion about whether any of these guys have reached there can be arguable right now. But for me, my answer is Diamond could be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Politically correct. He's such a nice guy. Okay, so again, I want you see, the good thing about the making of the song, all of that, I can one day have that conversation with Nyash or even Sedo. But for you, the goal is you now have this artist. You've not had an artist who's gotten you to this pinnacle, have you? Like, what's happening? Because by the time you're talking about going to Stato, for me, that's you're also saying that was my last day at work. But before we get there, even the gigs with Stato come in, endorsements, have they started hitting you right now?
So endorsements, no. The first endorsement came in. No, of course there were conversations about endorsements, but there are several things that maybe would hinder us from doing some endorsements. I'll give you an example. If you don't take alcohol, it's not easy for you to be a brand ambassador for an alcoholic brand, especially if the audience know you don't take alcohol, because they'll know it's not authentic.
But DJ Adrian does.
Yeah?
Not DJ Adrian, DJs in here.
So so a number of calls would come in for endorsement.
What I'm hearing you say is that you align to what was Nyash's values.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So calls would come in, and we'd discuss different options that came in, and we would say, maybe we are not ready for this. There's something that, and people don't take it seriously right now, but it was a factor back then. And I think someone like Nameless can give a talk about this. There's something in business people learn about opportunity cost. There are some brands when you align yourself with, a certain other brand won't touch you. I'm trying to look for in fact, let me give you like this as an example. At some point, when let's say you'd be aligned to Airtel, it might have been hard for Safaricom to touch you.
Unless you're Daddy Owen. Yeah.
But you have to be careful. And also, at the same time, you have to look at opportunity cost in terms of there's a brand that can give you little money, but they'll expose you so much. So you have to draw a line between, will they exposing you so much make people tired of you? Or will the exposing you so much bring you more brand top of mind awareness that then you get gigs?
So you're balancing all of these things as a
You have to
manager.
balance all these things. And let me tell you, and I'll be honest at this point. There's no straight formula. So a lot of it is guesswork. So you might get it wrong. But the important thing is you've had a discussion of why you're saying yes or no to a certain thing. If it doesn't happen the way you think, it's a learning. But at least it's something that you discussed.
As a manager, do you have to pass all of your decisions back to your client?
Yeah, of course.
So there's nothing that you'd be like, oh, I signed this, not I
No.
signed
In fact, for me, a practice that I always put in place was any contract I would sign as a witness. The artist has to sign himself.
Yeah.
Because you see, at the end of the day, he's the one executing. If the artist doesn't execute, do you take me to court? Because I'm the one who signed the contract.
I get it.
Yeah.
Also, I like what you said about Diamond leaving the room. With you and Nyash, did you sit down together to discuss the Nyash brand?
Yes. So we'd sit down as Fakii and Nyamari to discuss Nyashinski as a brand. And even with time, the team grew, so we'd be several people around a table discussing the Nyamari brand. But he'd
No,
be
the Nyashinski brand.
Nyashinski brand, but he'd be seated there as Nyamari.
Yo, okay. So, I feel like Nyash has got to a place very few again I'll say can think of Sauti Soul, maybe a Nameless up in there, Jokali way back in the day, but Nyash has got to his brand love is insane. Also the comeback and still capturing a whole new generation. Now in this space, are you relearning everything as a manager?
Relearning a lot as a manager, especially the new revenue streams in terms of digital streaming platforms, social media. Social media became a big thing. The power of social media over traditional media, whereby at least we didn't experience this ourselves, but we saw it in the industry where traditional media would ignore a song, but then digital media embraces it, so traditional media are forced to play it. So there was a lot of learning about the effect of digital. There's a lot of learning about, you know the way you'd be called for gigs and the gigs are being advertised all over TV, radio, newspaper, but now it's about posting on social media. So now contracts are being adjusted in this time where the contract comes with an obligation for the artist to post, to push the gig, a certain number of posts on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, that kind of thing. And then of course looking at the back end of the posts just to see who are the people engaging with these posts that we put up. Learning how to tease music. Like I remember, and Nyash was very creative, has always been very creative with this. Like Nyash would, like there was a time he wrote down some numbers, and people were wondering what's this. Then of course he told us as a team, then we also started doing the same, and people were always wondering, it was something that looked like a 1 and a 3, some looked like they were upside down. Then at some point you're like, turn it around. When you turn it around, it spells baby baby, the song that he did. There's a time when he just wrote some things, and people were wondering what's this. When you turn it around, it was Hayawani. So just learning how to tease a song. How long can you tease a song for before people get tired of waiting? Or what's the effect of you don't tell anyone except maybe a media house about a song you're dropping. Then on a certain morning, you just drop. You learn what's the best day of the week to drop the song. You learn what time is good to drop the song, because you have to think about what's the fastest way that people will interact with this song. Where will people catch this song fast? Is it on radio or is it on YouTube? You realize it's on YouTube. So as much as you drop the song, say at 9 a.m. so that you hit radio, but you can tell a few radio stations in advance that here's the song, but we are dropping it at 9. So already you get the radio presenters excited, so they start talking about the song, saying the song is dropping at 9. Then at the same time, you're dropping the video on YouTube at 9. Now,
I call it that digital reflection, where you use mainstream media to send guys to digital.
Yes, and then you remember that a lot of people, especially in the urban centers in Kenya, are in their offices, so they'll interact with this song on YouTube in their offices. They're using office Wi-Fi to listen to this song. And while they're in their office, they also use social media to discuss this song, to share this song with other people. So you tell yourself, we don't drop a song in the afternoon. We drop it in the morning, but give guys time to get into the office and settle down. But so while you're giving guys time to settle down in the office, guys who are entering the office at 8, 8:30, 9, don't lose your breakfast shows. So 9 is good, but tell the guys on the breakfast shows at 7 or at 8 or even the day before that, at 9, this song is dropping. Yeah, dude,
you've researched. You've researched. It's why I say never drop anything on a Saturday and Sunday, because people don't have free office Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I see people dropping songs in the evening. I'm like, because the other thing that used to happen a lot at that time, there are people who would judge the song based on how many views it has gotten and how long ago you dropped it. Because YouTube would tell you, like, premiered 7 hours ago. Then you look at the number of views. Now, if you drop a song at night and you have to wait till morning, see the number of hours that YouTube then shows the song has been on, but then it doesn't have as many views. Then it can discourage people. You get?
I fully understand that term as a YouTube enabler when guys would buy.
Oh, and then there's the other thing that you learn with social media, where, and it's a tricky thing, you learn that because people have a lot of things that they are watching now, because we're in the digital world, rope them in within the first 30 seconds. Within the first 30 seconds of the song, I need to give you a reason why you should continue playing the song. Because when you play past, is it 30 seconds still? That's when it counts as a view. And then also giving it time for ads to start being put in. Monetization. Okay. So you have to have all those factors in mind.
Hold on. So what I've said, you guys, as you can clearly see, we've gotten to Jaden time. It's 7 o'clock. When we continue with this conversation, because clearly we need to continue with it, let's pick it up from now. You're going to States, now you leave Cook.
Okay.